Speaker.
Democracy is a form of government in which power comes from the people. Australia is a democracy in which citizens elect members of parliament to govern the country on their behalf. This type of democracy has its origins hundreds of years ago in Britain, replacing a system where kings and queens hold most of the power. But even by 1788, when Britain sets up a convict colony in Australia, only rich men have the right to vote. Women and most ordinary British men have no political rights. The Aboriginal people of Australia have their own forms of government based on their traditional law. The law is part of the dreaming, the system of beliefs and customs handed down from the ancestors. The law gives people rules for every aspect of their lives. It tells them what animals and plants they can eat, who they can marry, how young people should be educated, and how disputes between individuals or groups should be settled. Many different Aboriginal groups live in Australia, and each one has its own unique law. The elders of the group are the guardians of the law, making sure it is followed, punishing those who disobey the law, and passing on the knowledge of the law to younger people. In 1788, these two very different forms of government, Aboriginal and British, collide when the first fleet arrives in Australia. Crammed on board the 11 ships are sailors, marines, and over 700 convict men and women. The convicts are criminals who have broken the law in Britain. Australia is to become one large prison. Convicts have no political rights. In the early years of British colonisation, governors like Captain Arthur Phillip run Australia much like a king. The governor's word is law. As the colony of New South Wales expands, the traditional Aboriginal owners are driven from the land or forced to live under British law.
Gone the men who fished the Darling. Gone the tribes that travelled free. White men, guns and wire fences finished off corroboree. Sings of all the tribes forgotten, lost beneath this timeless land. Digging stick and spear lie broken, Dreamtime shadows on the sand.
When free settlers arrive to set up farms and businesses, they demand a say in government. It is finally decided that the 6 colonies would become states of Australia, but each would keep its own government to manage state issues such as police, hospitals and schools. Uniting the states would be a federal government that would be responsible for national matters like defence, immigration and foreign relations. By early 1899, voters in all the colonies except Western Australia have agreed to join together as one nation. In July 1900, the British Parliament approves the Constitution for a united Australia. Queen Victoria signs it into law. But the government of Western Australia still opposes federation. It fears domination by the more populated eastern states. But West Australian voters have other ideas. A referendum is held so they can vote yes or no for federation. On the 31st of July 1900, A majority say yes. As the news flashes around the continent by electric telegraph, celebrations erupt in cities and towns and in the bush. On the 1st of January 1901, the new nation, the Commonwealth of Australia, will be born. That story is in our next video.